Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Caroline. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to install a curly frontal wig start to finish, no stylist needed. I feel like this is a perfect video for the vacation season coming up. It's spring, it's summer. Go ahead and save yourself some coins because I promise you guys at the end of this video you're going to feel like a professional yourself. I'm going to walk you through everything from the braid down, the fitting of the wig prep, the install, the baby hairs, and how I define my curls to get them looking nice and juicy like this. So with that said, let's sit back, relax, and get right into today's video.
Bad things, fine as hell, thick as fuck, oh my god, that's my baby, Caroline.
The wig that we're working with in today's video and the sponsor of today's video is from Amanda Hair Company. They sent me their 30-inch 300% density curly wig, so it's super long and super full. This is a 13x4 frontal. It does come pre-plucked and pre-bleached. I would say it's slightly pre-plucked and slightly pre-bleached, which is perfect for my beginners or my people out there who don't have time to be plucking and bleaching the wig, because installing it is already a challenge of its own. This wig does have like even parting space for 13x4. It's not too small, not too big, just standard sizing. Comes with the clips, the combs, elastic band, all the bells and whistles you need for a secure wig. Perfect vacation wig, honestly, because for vacation you want something big, something bold, something that says she's an island gal. Okay, that's how I was feeling when I was wearing this wig. I was like, somebody hand me a mimosa, a pina colada, something, because I was in my vacation mode vibe. So if you're looking for a really nice, long, thick, curly hair for your vacation or just everyday needs because you're that girl who wears 30 inches every day, then definitely go ahead and check out this hair. I'll have it linked below in the description. I always have like some type of like discount coupon code down there as well, so use that to get a little discount. But let's get right into this tutorial. It's currently 4:40. I feel like I want to get all this done by 8 o'clock. That's allowing my hair to dry as well because curly hair needs to dry. Basically, let's see if I can get all of this done in like 3 hours and some change. Okay. Alright, so the first step to a flawless curly wig install is braiding your hair down properly. This ensures your wig sits smoothly and doesn't look too bulky, especially detangled hair. You can do this either wet or dry hair. I'm doing dry hair today. I start off by sectioning my hair in the middle. Sectioning my hair in the middle ensures that I do not add like a braid right in the middle. This helps me avoid any like awkward like gap or bumps. Whenever you have a braid right in the middle of your head, if you do like a middle part, sometimes that makes it hard for your middle part to be nice and flat. I'm not doing a middle part, but it's something I just do for all my braids down. I also like to make sure I work in sections, especially if you're a beginner. It's going to help you a lot to section off your hair. I'm going to be doing 6 braids in total, 3 on each side to give me a flat, secure base for my wig. Now when it comes to keeping my sections neat, I like to use edge control. I apply a little bit of edge control along the parted lines to everything out and to help flyaways and to keep my little tiny edges because my edges are too short for me to grip. So using edge control to just slick everything back just helps me give a clean, sleek look. Now once I have the edge control in, I divide each side into 3 parts. The key is to keep everything as neat and flat as possible so the braids lay smooth and there are no bumps under my wig. Now, I'm not the best braider, so my braids are not going to be the neatest, but I found that just taking my time, being slow, and sectioning my hair away, like if I'm not braiding that piece of hair, I try to tie it back, really does help me. And honestly, practice makes perfect. Like my braids in the beginning, they didn't even look like braids. At least after the more I kept doing it, they start to look better. So just take your time, be slow. That's why I do bigger sections. It's best to do smaller braids. Like if you could do 10 braids, that'd be better. But since I'm still a novice, 6 braids, 3 on each side gets me through. It makes my wig flat enough. And edge control and gel really does help make it look a lot more neat. So the braid down took about 20 minutes, which is not bad for 6 braids and me being still a novice. Now let's get into the wig prep and wig adjustments. The first thing I like to do is prep the lace so it can match my skin tone exactly. My Too Faced Born This Way concealer to tint my lace. I'm using the shade Maple. This is my exact forehead shade. You want a shade that literally matches your forehead because that's where the lace is going to lay. I prefer to buff this in underneath the lace versus over, because I feel like doing underneath makes the lace look a lot less cakier versus doing over. And I prefer using either liquid foundation or concealer because I feel like these are thicker. It's going to give me a much fuller coverage than using a powder. And to make sure my installs last, I always wipe my head off with micellar water, sometimes alcohol, just to clean off any oils, residue, makeup, edge control, so I can really get a nice clean surface to apply my lace. When it comes to what I wear under my wigs, I do not do any wig caps, ball caps. I feel like less is more for a more natural look, and sometimes wig caps do end up showing, even they are your skin tone. And since I'm not using like actual glue, which you need a bald cap method to protect your edges from, I'm just fine with just putting it on. No wig cap, no nothing. Now we're ready to put on the wig. When it comes to putting on the wig, make sure you're using all the bells and whistles that the wig comes with. I use the clips, the elastic band, the adjustable strap, everything, okay? I make sure that I hook that clip right into the back of my braid right here, and I make that elastic band sit on my nape so everything is nice and secure in the back. That way I don't have my wig flying up and embarrassing me later in the future, as well as I make sure I have the clips and the combs clipped in on the side of the wig. I like to have my wig sit down a little bit further past my hairline, not too much, but just a bit, so that way I can still like protect my edges. The way my hairline is shaped, it does come down a little further on the sides than it does in the center. So I do have to kind of take this time to pull out additional hair that comes down too far on the middle of my head. And this hair did come with like pre-made baby hairs, so I just go ahead and just yank those out. Just kind of like, you want to make sure you're customizing your wig to kind of also fit your natural hairline and head shape. Next, I'm going in and just cutting off the excess lace around my ear, because this is a frontal, so it's normal for you to have hair that like lace that sits past your head. So I make sure the wig is sitting right exactly where it needs to be, and I just go in and trace a upside down U or N shape following the curvature of my ear. Be really careful not to cut off your ears, because I've done that many times. I know this part can be a little bit daunting, and if you want like a more detailed tutorial, step by step, slow down how I cut off the excess lace around my ear, I have a video for that as well. I'll link that on top of this section right here, check that out. But honestly, I just try my best to just follow the shape of my ears. Done with the last bit of lace prep. All I do last is I go in and cut my hair in sections. I cut these sections based on like how the hairline dips in and out. I feel like it's really important for you to work in sections when you're installing a frontal, especially because trying to lay all the lace at once, you're gonna have lifting, you're gonna miss some spots. So sections are gonna be your best friend. Actually lied, I did one more bit of lace prep. I'm going in and creating myself a little bit of a widow's peak, very light. And to create my widow's peak, I kind of do like a semicircle on both sides going from the middle, or I think of creating like a heart shape. I'm not doing too deep of a widow's peak today. I just want to do this because I feel like adding a little extra pizzazz, like adding your widow's peak, just makes the wig look a lot more natural and realistic to you. If you're too scared to pull out the hair like I am, if you're too scared to pull out the hair like I do, honestly I don't recommend this, because sometimes you might end up ripping your lace. It's really best to make sure you do this on hair that's like, one, the knots are pre-bleached, they're more weaker, they come out easily. But if you're too scared to pull it out, just use some Nair or hair remover. I do have a detailed tutorial on how I customize my hairline using Nair, if you want to check that out. But use that instead if you're too scared to pull it out. But once I yank that hair out, we are finally ready to lay down the lace. To lay my lace, I like to use glueless lace sprays, meaning these are not actual like lace glue, but it does have a very good strong hold. I'm using the Kiss Color lace spray. It comes in several levels. I either use a level 7 for a casual hold, or I use the level 9 for today, which I want like a nice long lasting 2 to 3 day hold. Because they're safe on my edges, and I have the flexibility to take off my wigs simply by just applying a water versus glue. I feel like I always say leave the glue to the professionals, okay? It's my updated routine when it comes to getting super melted lace. So first thing I do is I cut off the lace, and you want to be mindful how you're cutting the lace. First, I like to use really nice sharp shears so I can go and glide through the lace. And you want to cut the lace in an up and down jagged motion. I'm showing you, do not cut straight across. You don't want any blunt cuts on your lace. If you can't do an up and down motion, get a razor, cuticle scissors. You just want to have a jagged, bumpy cut on the lace. This is what's going to make the lace lay much more naturally versus having like a wiggy line of demarcation. And what I do now is I like to spray everywhere where the lace is going to sit on my head. I spray it all, and I use my fingers to spread everything nice and thin and even. And then I go in and place the lace on top of it. The product I'm using is super sticky and tacky, so sometimes I'm having to use a blow dryer just like pressing down the lace. It's already like sticking and like locking itself in. Sometimes you might have to go in for the sideburns because I usually always like don't get it exactly with the estimation of where it's gonna lie in my head. So I go back in and spray some more. By realizing spraying under versus over the lace gets me a lot more secure, long lasting hold. I press everything down with my rat tail comb to make sure I don't have any like gaps, missing a spot. And then I go in with my blow dryer. You can use a cool or warm setting, doesn't really matter honestly. I just use that to help make sure everything is nice and dry, and to just make sure I don't have any stickiness or tackiness. And I use this rat tail comb to press and push down that lace. Before I go in with my elastic band, I have to make sure the lace is properly dried all around. You don't want any stickiness, tackiness. So I will go in with like a cold shot of air. I feel like the cold shot really helps every stickiness and tackiness go away. Because if you put the elastic band on your head while the lace is still wet, sticky or tacky, when you take that band off, it's going to take the lace off right with it. So make sure you are properly drying your head down. I also too like to just go around and make sure I didn't miss any spots. Like right here I missed a little bit of a spot. So whenever I have to like do like a spot treatment, I go in and spray the lace on my hand. I use the edge of my rat tail comb to just help me apply that right underneath the lace. Okay, I feel like applying this adhesive underneath is a lot better than spraying it over. And also kind of helps you reduce the likelihood of getting residue and white cakiness on your lace. Once I've made sure the lace is nice and dry, there's no lifting, I've got everything sprayed down, I can go ahead and put that elastic band on. I prefer using on the elastic band. I don't keep it on for too long, just as long as I have the time for it, because I just need this to hold the lace down for a bit. I'm going to put it on again later, but just to hold it down before I proceed. I went ahead and took a little snack break while my lace was simmering. You see, everything is nice and melted. It's giving lace wear, scalpiana. And if you're not a big fan of baby hairs, you can honestly just stop right here. But I want to give like a fun look to this. I feel like baby hairs are more of an art form and just add a little fun. Not every hairstyle needs baby hairs, but for this look, a little vacation type of vibe, I want some baby hairs. Now, whenever I do my baby hairs though, I do like to go for a more light, airy look than like very thick, stiff type of look. Like I still like my baby hairs to be dramatic, but I like them to be a little bit less stiff, if that makes sense. First thing I do is I part out where I want the baby hairs to be, and I kind of like pre-map out how the swoop is gonna look. So that way I pull out just enough hair, and I just estimate where it's gonna be. And then to hold down the hair, I go in with some Got2b spray, just a hairspray, so it can hold the baby hair in place. I go in with my razor and just kind of like cut at like an angle. I don't cut straight across. I feel like straight across is just a no-no for like doing hair in general. You don't want blunt looks. I cut at an angle, like a tapered from shortest to longest, and I use my mini flat iron to just curve the baby hairs inwards towards my face. And then using my rat tail comb or a brush, something, I go ahead and again pre-map, pre-swoop everything. And then to set it in place, I'm using that same Got2b hairspray to press down where I need the hair to be flat. Like a brush like I normally do when I'm doing my baby hairs, I realized using a comb works the best for this like light fluffy look. You just want to use your finger, that Got2b, not too much Got2b so it doesn't get stiff, just enough to hold it where you need it to be held. Whenever I'm doing my baby hairs, I call it the first attempt, like my rough draft, because the first attempt is not going to look the best. It might look a little too thick, a little too funny. I just kind of like want to map out the shape of everything and press it down, and then I'm going to put my elastic band on to set everything in place, and I come back later and do the tweaking and perfect it. But the first draft, you just gotta like get the vision, the concept there. Elastic band on, my baby hairs are sitting and simmering. I'm gonna go ahead and take this time to just pluck the hairline a little bit more. This wig was slightly pre-plucked, but I feel like it just was a little too bulky in the front for me, so I'm going in with my tweezers and just trying to lightly thin it out so I can have a more natural look. Lace is laid, baby hairs have been swooped. Now let's get into styling the hair, aka defining these curls. I feel like I am the master of getting my curls to look nice and juicy. Curly hair routine starts off with me breaking out the out of the box curl pattern by brushing everything out. I just want to get everything nice and detangled, so it's going to make the curl defining process a lot easier, and I'm less likely to like tug and pull on the lace that is still marinating and melting down. Once I get all the hair nicely brushed and fluffed out, I go in with a mixture of water just to help soften the hair, and then I also use mousse. I like to use mousse versus water because I feel like mousse dries faster. But I don't like using just solely mousse because mousse is very expensive. Mousse is too expensive for me to be using on this very long, very thick hair. So I use a little bit of water just to help soften the hair down, and I use the rest of the mousse to saturate the hair. You want to make sure the hair is saturated, it's not dry, there's no fluffiness, it's just wet. That's what's going to help you really get those nice defined curls later on. Once I feel like the hair is fully saturated, I don't feel like I have any fluffy pieces, I go in with my brush and I start brushing and brushing and brushing. Especially if it's like your first time wearing the hair, you gotta keep brushing until you see the curls start to like change and turn into like little ringlets. I keep brushing until I see the curls clump together at the end. Speaking of the ends, I really like my ends to be nice and full, and I feel like curly hair always looks better when the ends are like bluntly cut. So I do like a blunt chop, an even chop at the ends, so that way when I brush everything again, because you have to brush it again after you chop it, the curls are going to clump together nicely and it's going to look a lot more fuller and just give you like a really pretty look. But like I said, you got to keep brushing and brushing and just making sure the hair is fully saturated with water or mousse. You could use just water honestly, but something to get the hair nice and wet, and just keep brushing until you see those curls clump. And the way that I brush, I really make sure I'm focusing on brushing and scooping the curls towards the end. I feel like if you look at my hand motion, I really scoop those curls in at the ends to really get them to clump. And then I also do a scrunching motion to really also help promote clumping. And my last tip is, as you're doing this, do not run your fingers through the hair. Do not separate the clumps. You want to leave the hair in a nice clump state like this while it's still wet. Now I'm gonna leave the hair just like this. Do not run your hands through it. That's gonna ruin the curls. Leave it in these tight little ringlets to fully air dry. I'm gonna do my makeup while the hair is air drying. It's currently 6:30. I feel like we'll be dry by 8 o'clock, maybe fully dry. Yeah, so I'm gonna do my makeup and come back, and we're gonna get into the final look. See, that wasn't too bad, right?
A few moments later.
Okay. Makeup done. It's 7:49, so it's damn near already sunset. But the hair is dry for the most part. Take this band off. Okay. See the baby hairs? I like these type of baby hairs. Like I feel like, especially I'm doing like a vacation vibe. Vacation is not the time for serious baby hairs. It's time for something fun. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just like comb them out to make them look less stiff and more light and airy, without obviously like breaking the shape. I just like to comb them out again. It looks so good. Like I'm really into this. I like this side a lot too. And as for the hair, it's still kind of wet, honestly. I think I'm gonna run a blow dryer. I'm gonna go ahead and use a diffuser. It's been like an hour and the hair is still kind of wet. It takes like a full, like, I like the hair to have lots of volume, so it takes like a good like 2 hours for the hair to dry. I'm gonna use a diffuser to help fasten this process. If you're gonna use a blow dryer to dry your hair, make sure you are using a diffusion attachment versus just a straight blow dryer, because you don't want to separate the curls at all, or else you're gonna get a big frizzy puffy look. I want everything to stay intact and tight. And once it's fully dry, I separate the hair to get the volume I want. I don't separate the hair while it's still wet, or it's not going to be nice and defined. Trying a little bit more. I'm just trying to like separate the hair lightly, but not messing up my little pretty ringlets at the bottom. Like you just want to like separate it. Do this once the hair is fully dry. You separate it when the hair is wet. It's gonna dry separate. I'm just trying to like create some volume because I do want like a big hair look. I'm also trying to be mindful of not losing the definition. I'm trying to see, do I want to flip it over this way? Yeah, I like how that looks. So pretty, like, I'm obsessed with this look right now. This looks so good. Like, let's get into the lace. Bling. Pluck it just a little bit, not too much. It's still a little bit too thick. Just to lighten it up a bit. Tell me this is not tea. Like, somebody give me a mimosa and put me on an island. Like, wait. And it's giving, I went to a professional. Not just any professional, but the professional. I did it at home by myself. Now for some finishing touches. I'm gonna come a perfectionist, like my curls to look their best. I'm going in with some mousse again. And for these face framing pieces, I'm gonna just do a little cute and polite finger coil just to keep everybody in order. But I'm using mousse, not water, so it'll dry a lot faster. And I just like to do little finger coils just to like make these curls in front of my face look really perfect. Ooh, this is so pretty, y'all. I always just feel so pretty when I do my hair. I'd be feeling more pretty when I know I did it myself. Okay. Alright. Just gotta be mindful. Alright. Do a little twirly twirl. Okay. Ah, look at that. Let me back up for y'all. Let me let y'all get the whole vision, you know, like y'all, the girlies gotta see what's going on, mamas. Let me back up for y'all. Okay. Like, come on. It's giving a vacation. Like, what? This looks so stinking good. And we didn't even use a hot comb or nothing. Like, very simple. I feel like a flip over is the most easiest way to like, for like, this is my favorite way to style a curly hair. I feel like one, it's really easy to do. Like, you don't have to do no parting, you have to get the parting right, but it also like just looks very like islandy and effortless, but like still really good. This came out so stinking cute. Like, love it. And don't worry, to my non-baby hair lovers that want like a more sleek, cleaner look, you have another like, I do have another tutorial, I believe, a curly hair. It's a closure where I do the same look basically, but none of it's middle part. No baby hairs, it's long curly hair, kind of like this. If you want something like that, go ahead and watch that tutorial. But this tutorial is for my girls who want some nice, fun hair, okay? Because baby hairs are fun. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys. What time is it? It is 8:18. Okay, period. I got all of this done, plus the hair drying and my makeup in the timely manner that I said. It's 8:18. And yeah, it wasn't that bad, right? I hope it wasn't. If you felt like it was difficult, just keep watching this video, keep trying, keep practicing. You gotta start somewhere to get to where you are. Like my wigs in the beginning, when I first started doing my hair myself, they was not eating. I thought they were eating, but they were not. And people were still complimenting me with my hair. I'll insert some pictures of my first install. And mind you, my first wig install was curly hair. And that's when, like, I feel like I became obsessed with curly hair. Probably why, like, I feel like I'm like the curly hair queen in my opinion. But like people, I literally, like, people were complimenting me on my hair all the time. I even was doing other girls' hair in college, because college I started doing my hair. Mind you, my installs now look back on, they were not as good, but I think the delusionality of me just trying made the hair look good to others as well. So just try, do your best, watch my tutorials, practice, 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 and your installs will look just like this eventually, if at the first time. Disclaimer, disclaimer. But of course, you know, having like wigs like this, cause I feel like cause back then, I'm acting like it was like years ago, but when I started doing my hair, like pre-curled, pre-plucked, pre-bleached wigs like this did not exist. I had to pluck and I had to learn how to pluck and bleach my wigs. So I think that's also why my wig installs were looking back in the days. I'm sure I had these type of wigs pre-plucked and pre-bleached back when I was doing my hair, my installs would look a lot better. So definitely go ahead and check out this wig if you're looking for something like this, because this does make your life a whole lot easier. But yeah, that is the end of today's tutorial. Thank you guys so much for sitting down and watching me. Hope you guys have another one. Hope you guys, Lord, hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I hope to see you another one. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And peace out, Girl Scouts. Goodbye.